Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Strix here, and I am back for another video on my channel. Today I'm doing the follow-up video from my Q&A info video I did yesterday, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for getting me to 7K. It means so much to me, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new, because we are almost at that 10K mark, and I plan to do something pretty big for 10K. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure out when we get to that, alright? So, like I said, I'm doing a follow-up, and I got quite a few questions from you guys, and I appreciate it. So it means you guys want to know a lot about what's going on and everything. But the first question we have is from Old Man Lemur. He said, "Hey man, I like your videos, been a subscriber for a while now. I have a question about the 619 raid. The tribes on that server were never a part of Supremacy or allied with them. I understand why people think that because months ago it was a main Supremacy server. Unfortunately, because of that, my tribes kept getting accused of being with Supremacy, which is starting to cool down a little bit. Did you find out they weren't with Supremacy after the video came out, and what's your thoughts on that? This isn't for a vid or anything, it's just being part of the 619, and I'm curious what you think." Well, so Lemur, the thing about 619 was, when we attacked 543, we got a server number from 619, and we ended up going over there, or a few guys went over there. I didn't personally go over there, and then when we found out it was a 619 was from, like, there was tames on 534 in that cave from 619 because we checked server numbers, and once we found that, we were like, hey, we should go hit that too. So we went over there, or the guy did that, put the beds in the cave, and then I ended up just spawning on the bed. So it was basically sort of like a, hey, this was Osiris, because Osiris has meshed my ab, and they're like constant trolls on my ab, or they were constant trolls on my aberration. So I'm like, this is an Osiris server, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing this shit. So we basically meet ran it from there, and that's really all there was to it. The thing about it was, I saw a lot of comments of people saying like, oh, you're trying to make excuses for meshing and everything. Well, genuinely, I feel like we could have gotten in there either way. There was literally like no turrets besides that one little turret box, and we could have just swam right past that, no problem. But people were saying like the defense is the ocean and wildlife and shit in there, which I agree with that. I can't really deny that, because fuck trying to swim past 1,000 alpha squids. But that basically sums up my answer, and on to the next question. Alrighty, everybody, for our second question, we have a question from Floppy Pullout in the comment section on my last video. He said, "Q&A, why do you undermap so much?" Alright, well, the reason we undermap this much nowadays, if you go to my older videos, you can see like I wanted to play legit. Everything was completely legit. I did not undermap anybody. But now that like Mazza, Muslim Farmer, and all these like known meshers are doing it, and they're like expecting zero retaliation, it's pretty BS to me how we get shit for doing it after Supremacy / Invictus, basically the same alliance nowadays, got nothing before, and now they're just like glorified for whatever reason, you know what I mean? So undermapping, I said at the beginning of the war that I would upload all aspects of the war and show my side of the war, and you could probably go to one of my older videos, like I believe it was a message to Supremacy, where I put that, and someone commented, they were like, "Can you show all aspects of the war, good and bad?" And I'm like, sure. So what I'm showing you guys is actually what happens in the war. I'm not sugarcoating anything like all the other people do. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. So the thing about it is, like I said, I really don't give a fuck. So what I upload, it's nothing different than what the enemy alliances are doing. They're doing it more than I am. I haven't meshed since 619. So that's about it for that question. I appreciate you asking that. For the next question, we have a question from Chase. He said, "Who's going to win the war in your opinion? No bias." Well, the thing about trying to, like, my side of the war, we have so many alliances on our side of the war because Invictus and Supremacy have basically just pissed off everybody in their path. So every alliance in Arc, as far as I know, does not like Supremacy besides Invictus, and they're like butt buddies basically. They're practically the same alliance. So the thing about that is, we're constantly hitting mains. We might not always win hitting mains, but we actually keep pressure on them, which keeps them from continuing to rebuild. Obviously, they're constantly defending, so they always have element on their server, and they're always grinding per se. Because to be honest, when was the last time you seen Supremacy pull up on a main server and or Invictus? Like, I don't think anybody can really tell me what mains they've pulled up on at all. So, my opinion, I feel like the war's never gonna end. I feel like it's gonna constantly keep going because there's so many servers that each alliance has. I feel like at the end of the day though, we have more servers and we have more people and we have more manpower. Well, basically the same thing, but we have everything more than them. They just have the upper hand in terms of knowing how to defend well, I guess. They have a really good defense team, I will say that, but I just feel like it's never going to end. But at the end of the day, we're winning the war as of now. For our fourth question, we have a question from Flashy Bro. It's pretty simple. Do you like burgers? Burgers are pretty fucking good, dude. That's basically the sum of that question. Burgers are fucking banging. That sounds good as shit right now. I might go buy a burger. But yeah. For our next question, we have a question from I'm Wyatt. He says, QnA, my Paracerithium line is popping 7k HP, and it's only 3rd gen. Is that good? Don't want to break it to you hard, but no. We had a Paracerithium come out at about 10k for our 1st gen wild tame. I remember I was on 504 with Onos way far back at the beginning of new servers, and I found a Paracer that had like 7k or some stupid high HP at knockdown, and then it tamed out at about 11 or 10k or some shit like that. So if I were you, White, I would either go get a new bloodline from people you know or go tame one. But yeah, you might want to go get a new one, sorry to say. Our next question is from Matthew. He says, how do you get into Hydra? Well, it's sort of a process to where you need to have an eligible base. I guess to sum it up, basically, you need to have a good amount of Brontos, good amount of Paracers, good amount of Gigas, Rexes, Theries, Datons, Soakers, etc. You know what I mean? So you basically have to have an eligible base for it, I guess you could say. You gotta be prepared. You gotta have some tri-mates who are down to grind out like our raid list and everything you need to go on a raid, and you just need to be prepared basically. And then you gotta talk to PP. He has to come over to a base tour, and then he will decide if you are okay to join Hydra. The next question we have is from Gen7F. He says, why do you guys inside whenever you get the chance? Had me believing, oh, we insided Supremacy because of them undermapping us multiple times, which I can understand, even though I'm against insiding, but those guys had no connection to Supremacy, so insiding must just be what French and Hydra do on the daily. So basically what he's referring to is 354 yesterday, or the 2 days ago I would say. We went over there because I went under the pretense that this tribe was being bullied by the alpha tribe that could quote unquote never get wiped, or any bullshit could happen to them. So they said if they leave their base, then they're gonna get wiped. So we were like, hey, that's a little fucked up. So we went over there, we dropped a small fob, I streamed a little bit of it, and they ended up inviting Invictus in, and once Invictus was invited in, we were like, damn, so these people were actually with Invictus. So about an hour or two later, I talked to Mazda afterwards, but he told me that someone stole his kits along with Chucky. So someone stole their kits, so they ended up getting admin. They clubbed out the leader, and they basically inside of the tribe. I was in their party when they were doing it. I was like, damn, well, at least leave some shit for us. So we were gonna meet around the base and shit, but you know, it's Maz and them, they're enemy alliances, so they obviously didn't help. So it wasn't us who incited. We had no prior knowledge of them ever inciting or wanting to incite. Their kit was apparently stolen. I was talking to them like after the fact or when they were inciting, and I was on Chucky's stream near the end of his stream, and I was in his party talking about it. So it was not us who incited, not Hydra on 354 who incited. It was actually Invictus, the Mazza, Chucky, all those people, because they got their kids stolen apparently. So our next question is from Helix. I've seen Helix in a few videos, so I appreciate you commenting and being a subscriber for quite a while now. He says, what imprint do you get on your gigas? Well, recently that hatch I did about a week ago or so, I did that hatch. Fatboy Dan sniped one of my gigas and that's it, but he came over and really didn't do shit. He DC'd and I got like 50 C4 off the bum and everything. So, but I got about 86 was my highest on it, and lowest was 74. The reason I got 74 on one of them is because I didn't see the imprint and I was tired of shit. So I just logged off and didn't realize until the next day. So my highest was 86. Most of them are around 86 to like, well, like from 74 ranging up to 86. Most are in the 80s, between 84, 85, 86. So that's about what I get on my gigas. For the next question, we have a question from Phantom. He said, QnA, how old are you and are you ever going to do a face reveal? Well, currently I'm 17. I know it sort of sounds like, hey, this dude's a kid. He sounds like a fucking 80-year-old dude. Well, my voice changing software is very, very good, okay, everybody? I got that $2,000 voice changer with the, I don't even know, but no, I don't have a voice changer, but I'm 17 right now. Might sound a little bit older. I'm definitely more mature than a lot of people my age. Don't act like a stupid fuck, but... And he says, are you ever going to do a face reveal? I will eventually. I don't know when. Don't really have any plans to do it quite yet, but I probably will end up doing it one day. We'll see. Just stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll do it once we hit some sort of milestone of some sort. I have no clue. You'll see one day, I guess. I appreciate you asking the question, though. For our next question, we have one from Jeffrey Jeff. He's one of my boys. If you guys haven't already, go check him out. Jeffrey Jeff is his channel. He does some ARC videos as well. They're not as good as mine, but you know, you can go sub to him if you want. But he said, QnA, why is Jeffrey Jeff I strike that word out better because it's inaccurate. So I put worst right next to it. Worst ARC YouTuber. Well, you drink too much tea, Jeff. You're just a British dude. You just sit around drinking tea all day. You take like 10 years to edit a video. That's not shots, right? Is that disrespectful? I'm sorry, Jeff. I love you. But on to the next question. For our next question, we have a question from GhostKids128, and SoftStudy sort of goes into the same concept. He says, what makes you keep playing ARC, aka the shitty game devs and ARC devs, everything about the game that's fucked up? Well, ARC's sort of like that type of game that you always wanted to play, where it's open world, there's so much shit to do, nothing's the same. It's sort of like you can build whatever you want, you can ride dinos, everything's like just chill, you know, and everything's just fun, man. Like there's so many different things that can go on in ARC, like there's so many different scenarios that can happen, and everything is different, you know what I mean? Like you can get attacked at any time, you can get attacked at fucking 12 a.m, 3 a.m, 10 a.m, it doesn't really matter. You can go attack people at 10 a.m. if you want. You can raise dinos, you can try to get new bloodlines, make them better and everything, and just make everything better, you know? Like everything is sort of like progression, and it's sort of that sense of achievement where it's like you want to do it more, and you do it more, you know what I mean? So it's a great game. Like, overall, past all the bullshit that has happened throughout the few years that Ark's been out, I feel like everybody can say that this is their favorite game of all time. And throughout all the bullshit Ark devs and everything that's gone down, they don't have the staff that they need due to whatever excuses they have, so they can't really respond to everybody's question. But I genuinely feel like everybody, or 90% of the people who play Ark, can say this is their favorite game of all time. And I personally say that with 100% certainty, considering I have over 250 days played on the game, or 280 now probably. I don't know, but I love this game with everything I know and love, so it's a great thing. For our next question, Cyber Radion asks, Strix YouTube, how and why did you join Hydra? The reason I joined Hydra is because a lot of people were joining it, and it looked like a great alliance. It looked structured and everything that was in it. I used to be in Blackout. I did leave Blackout. I'm technically, one of my rag servers are still Blackout, but everything else is Hydra. So I fuck with both alliances. I'll fight for Blackout and everything, and Hydra, basically sister alliances. But I felt like Hydra was pretty well known. It's everything structured correctly. I just felt like I should consider it at least. So that's my answer to that. For our next question, we have one from SoftStudy. He says, what made you start recording Ark in the first place? Well, Ark was sort of that game that came around that everybody wanted to play, and I remember seeing a stream, I think it was Typical Gamer, back when I used to watch him. He streamed Ark, and I was like, when this comes to console, I'm getting it. I said the same thing about Rocket League, but it's definitely not as good as Ark. But I ended up getting Ark, and like a few days after it came out, and I started playing it. I felt like it was a really solid game. Everything felt like it should. It was a great concept, and still is a great concept, and it's just so much fun. And everything, like I said, everything's different. You can't have the same exact scenario in every circumstance. Like, sometimes you can go fight, somebody can roll up with the gig at any time. Anything can happen in Ark. That's why I love it so much. But I started recording tutorials at first. I used to play GTA and record tutorials on there. That's where I gained my first bit of following, but obviously Ark has times that by a lot, I guess you'd call it. But I ended up doing tutorial videos first, and then I did see Crispy Josh. I won't lie, I watched Crispy Josh and Hod and all them do raid videos, and I was like, that seems like a great concept. It seems like it would get a lot of people to watch my channel. I feel like it could allow me to grow at a decent rate. So that's what I did, and it seems to work, because that's the reason you guys are all here, right? So yeah, on to the next question. For our last question, we have one from Wolf in my Discord. He said, how did you deal with alpha tribes who picked on smaller tribes when you first started official PvP? Well, I have a little bit of a story about that, because I was one of those small tribes. Me and my guy were a two-man tribe. We ended up building a decent stone base, and then the alpha tribe thought we raided his brother, so he came over and blew up our base. That was on server 52. And same with 41. We just got picked on, man. It was pretty fucked up. But now I'm bigger than every single one of them. A lot of them have quit Ark at this point, but I can go wipe whoever the fuck I want now. So it feels pretty good. Just work towards what you feel is right, man. I'm thinking about starting a series sort of like Hod did, where I defend Bobs and people who are getting attacked. I feel like that would be a great concept and a great series to start. It seems like a lot of people want to see like different types of series where I know one guy PM me, he wants to do top 10 clips, and I really want to do that. I'm going to start doing top 10s because I feel like people would enjoy that and see how the community plays out versus PS4, because PS4 are full of a bunch of scrubs on the low. But I appreciate everybody for sending me questions that are actually appropriate and everything. So that's about it for this video. I thank everybody for watching, and I hope to see everybody in the next one. If you haven't already, like the video please and subscribe. It would mean a ton to me. Let's get up to 10K by the end of the summer. I want to see that happen, so do it. Hit that sub button, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.